May 26, 2002. I walk into the room, and I find a diary with what looks like dried blood on it, signed with the name Sorrow and Death. My colleagues walked in before. I'm surprised they didn't see this. I'm going to look around and try to find where this came from. I see that there was an air vent. It looks like the grates fell off from all the commotion of the construction. I guess I'll give it a read. It looks like the owner doesn't need it anymore.
Jan 31st, 2002. Me and my friends just finished high school and graduated from Woodburke High. So as a celebration, we've decided to go up to Agat's cabin in the mountains around where the indigenous people used to stay. His father is rich, so he owns most of the land at the top of the mountain and some parts around it. He has an old house, along with a cabin that he allows Agatha to use. We have decided to go by 2 cars. Agatha would go along with his girlfriend at the same time as us. Then I, as well as Prudence and Nordis, my best friend. I've been interested in Prudence for some time, actually ever since I met her, but she is already in love with Nordis. This is a different story for a different time. Back to the point, we will go in 2 cars, and we will meet about halfway at his father's old house that he used to stay in, and we would spend a night there together.
Whoa, maybe that will help us with the lead. Thank God I found this diary. Just to think that this building is going to be demolished with all this information gone. I'm going to continue reading to hopefully help me have a grasp of what happened.
April 3rd, 2002, 8:25 a.m. Me and my friends were finally ready to go about 2 hours ago, and we've just been waiting for Agatha to arrive, but we have no texts from him, nor any sign of him arriving. Maybe he ran out of battery and continued up the hill? I think I'm going to continue driving, but it is damn cold out here, way colder than Agatha said, but at least I packed a lot of cold gear.
That's odd. Why wouldn't this person Agatha reply? His father does own the land after all. He could have at least texted or left a note to one of them or something. Whatever, he'll just keep reading so I don't get caught by the chief. I'm way too nosy.
April 3rd, 2002, 9:43 a.m. The wildlife is beautiful up here. There are foxes and squirrels everywhere. However, we were forced to stop. We are now about 15% up the mountain, but we started sliding, and the car's suspension got messed up. I'll just leave it on the side for now and get it later when we have Agatha's car. We will only take our backpacks with essentials, but I can't keep my eyes off of Prudence, although I have to. Wow, Nordis is a lucky man. Hopefully we meet again at the halfway point, as we discussed earlier.
This is getting weird. Why would they leave the car and decide to hike? That's super dangerous. Also, why does he keep writing about Prudence so freely in his diary? What if Nordis were to find the diary? Well, I guess I'll continue reading.
April 3rd, 2002, 11:25 a.m. While hiking, we've seen many things, like old indigenous memorials and what look like old longhouses and totems. Although they do look amazing and beautiful, the totems we saw are sort of eerie. One was made of bones which looked like a mix of bear and deer. I feel uneasy just looking at it. The amount of blood is unsettling. Not only that, but did I mention that it's still dripping with blood? Does that mean it was recent? Or is the frozen blood melting? Either way, we saw the 25% way up around 30 minutes ago, along with some really big deer prints, like abnormally big.
Totems? With dripping blood? What is this kid thinking? Why would he keep going? And not only that, but not be absolutely freaked out and terrified. At least he has a lot of time to get to the house. I hope he makes it safe and finds Agatha there waiting.
April 3rd, 2002, 4:01 p.m. It has just turned 4, and we walked into complications. I'm freaking out right now. Me and Prudence were walking together and talking about how horrible school was when Nordis just disappeared. Where did he go? Did we accidentally leave him behind while he needed to pee? He is the prankster of the group, so maybe he's going to try and scare us later. Prudence and I have decided to keep going up the mountain. There's something odd though. It's getting dark fast, and we haven't seen wildlife for the past 3 miles. Maybe they went to go feed.
Oh, I guess Nordis is the kid we found at the bottom of the valley, mutilated. We got the autopsy, and he fell and hit rocks, all the way down, leaving a crimson trail behind. Not only that, but it looks like a bear or something. Primal or barbaric got to him.
April 3rd, 2002, 7:32 p.m. Something horrible just happened. Me and Prudence were walking along the trail and we heard a roar. But it wasn't like any roar. It made my bones shake. It got into my head, made me terrified, full of anxiety. Me and Prudence ran until we couldn't anymore. We decided to stop once we got to the halfway point, the one with the building Agatha mentioned his father lived in. I guess they don't use it anymore because it looks like it decayed over time. Maybe a snowstorm hit it? Well, without thinking, me and Prudence ran into the house considering the roar and snowstorm rolling in. But I had a gut feeling, like a guardian angel telling me to be careful once I opened the door. So I opened the door and there's nothing there, just an ordinary building full of furniture and emptiness. There was so much dust everywhere and so many expensive things left behind. Prudence walked into the living room and boom, it sounded like a gun was shot. And it ended up being a tripwire trap with a double-barrel shotgun attached to the end of the string. Luckily, Prudence was fine, just took some scratches from what looked to be birdshot. I examined the shotgun trap, and it looked crude, like someone just put this up in 5 minutes. Without a second thought, I disarmed the trap with ease and took the shotgun. April 3rd, 2002, 8:13 p.m. It was dark, and our flashlights ran out, so I had to grab an old candle I found and use Prudence's smoking lighter to light it. The entire time Prudence had been smoking, I guess it was to calm the nerves. Well, we found what looks like a library or a study room. There we found a skeleton and a diary signed to Dzig Greyforest, Agatha's father. There were also papers scattered everywhere, and a book of the Eldritch Terrors. He wrote about one specifically. It was called the Wendigo. A Wendigo is a humanoid deer entity. It looks like an 8-foot-tall skeleton with a thin layer of black skin, long claws with green tips, ripped animal hide to cover the crotch, and the most notable, the decaying deer skull with sunken-in eyes. They are known to possess a lot of abilities like superhuman strength and superhuman senses. I didn't want to believe this was real, but with all the things going on, from the deer tracks, bloody totem, Nordis missing, and the roar, all we could do is believe that. I asked Prudence what we should do, and she suggested we go to the top to regroup with Agatha. Maybe he will have an emergency phone, car, and food. But before she could answer, the candles all went out at the same time, only leaving Prudence's lighter as a light source. When I tried to move closer to Prudence, I heard a fast whoosh and felt a wave of wind pass against my arm, and the lighter flung to the other side of the room. The only things I could hear were Prudence's screams of help, agony, and suffering. Then it went quiet, and all the candles suddenly lit again. I walked over to the other side of the room, and it was painted red. Only the pink jacket and lighter were left behind. I have to go up the hill. I have to regroup with Agatha.
What? The Wendigo? The thing the locals were warning me about? They're real? I have to warn the others as soon as I'm done reading. If I was this kid, I would sprint to the bottom. I would get the hell out of there. Looks like there are only 2 more logs.
April 3rd, 2002, 10:42 p.m. I've been hearing things in the dark, like a really fast bolting all around me, but I can only see so much with just a half-charged flashlight and lighter. When I was walking up the mountain, I saw something and heard it approaching. I panicked and quickly shot the last bullet of the shotgun. It seemed to be a big wolf. Why was it so big and fast? Oh right, the Wendigo influences the wildlife size when it's in proximity. I must be careful. But with no bullets left, I left the shotgun behind. It was too heavy to bring along.
What an idiot. Why would he leave the shotgun behind? There's a cabin at the top? There is no way there aren't going to be shotgun shells. I have to hurry and read, or else it's going to get dark soon and I'm going to put my coworkers in danger if we wait too long, and if the Wendigo truly is real.
April 4th, 2002, 12:04 a.m. I just reached the top and am in the cabin now. There was Agath's car outside, but no sign of Agath. I'm going to go upstairs and see what's going on, and where Agath is, I've called out and no reply. It smells horrible here, like rotten flesh.
April 4th, 2002, 12:37 a.m. Well, I found Agath's girlfriend here, but there's something wrong. She looks almost drained of all of her blood. And her entire right arm is missing, as well as a bite taken out of her neck. I remember something in his father's book, mentioning that a Wendigo is made by eating human flesh at your lowest point in hunger. But there's no way that Agath would do that. Oh no, I just heard some glass break, I'm going to hide under the bed. There's no way. I hear Agath. He's alive. I'm going to call out for him. Wait, why do the footsteps sound so heavy? What should I do? What, no Wendigos here, it's in the same room. I can hear snarling, and it smells like brimstone. It can't be. Agath had a tattoo of a primrose on his right collarbone. Why does the Wendigo have it too? It can be. I must get out, I'm going to make a run for it. It's approaching, I have to. The log cut there, and there's dry blood all over the page. But if he died, how did the diary get to the vent? Is someone here hiding it? Oh, sounds like my boss is approaching. I guess he wants a brief. I'm going to tell him what happened and tell him that we have to get out of here now. Wait, what is that sound? Sounds like heavy thuds walking up the stairs. With something dripping. Whatever, it can't be bad, right?
August 13th, 2002, Canary Mountain was closed due to the remains of 5 teenagers being found and a group of workers demolishing the Greywood Manor as well as the cabin. They all died of mysterious circumstances, nothing was retrieved, and visiting is prohibited. Entering the mountains could lead to 5 years in prison and a fine of $25,000.